Hi everyone, and welcome you back to this channel Technical Drawing Masterclass. So in this video we are going to look at how I came up with this ground floor plan. It's a one-bedroomed house with the sitting room, the dining, the kitchen area, and the WC. So let's get started and I show you exactly how I came up with this ground floor plan. So in part 1 of this video, we are going to look at the arrangement of the walls. Then we are going to look at also the placement of the doors and the windows. Then we shall end this video, and the rest of the things that we are supposed to look at, we shall handle them in part 2 of this same video. It's a one-bedroomed house with a sitting room, a kitchen, dining, and the WC. So let's get started and I show you exactly how I managed to draw up this ground floor plan. So I'll click at the layer command and I select the layer for walls. Then I'll use the rectangle command. I'll click at it. Then before I draw any rectangle, I'll first confirm the dimensions that I need to use for the rectangle. So I'll take the overall length and width. So the width, we have it as 8,800 millimeters. Then the length, we have it as 10,800 millimeters. Okay, so we shall draw a rectangle whose dimensions are 8,800 millimeters by 10,800 millimeters. So I'll just drop this one right here. Then I'll click at it. Then I'll explode it. So after that, I'll highlight that line. Then I'll click at the offset command. Then after that, I'll offset that line at a distance of 600 millimeters. Then after that, I'll offset the same line at a distance of 150. Then after, I'll come right here. Then I want to get a distance between this wall and this wall. So the distance between those two walls is 3,000 millimeters, because remember we have our thickness of the wall as 150 and also here we have it as 150. So the only distance between those two walls is 3,000 millimeters. So I'll use this line right here. I'll click at it. Then I'll offset it at a distance of 3,000 millimeters. And also I'll offset another line at a distance of 150 millimeters. So I want to get also the distance between this wall and this wall, which is 1,500 millimeters. So I'll click at this line and I'll offset it at a distance of 1,500 millimeters. Then also I'll give it an offset of 150 millimeters. Then I have also to draw up this wall, but then I'm going to take its distance from this wall, which is 4,150 millimeters. So I'll click at this wall at that point right there. Then I'll offset it at a distance of 4150 millimeters. Then I'll give it an offset of 150 millimeters. So now you find that this distance must be 600, right? So next we shall highlight this line right here. Then I'll offset it at a distance of 600 millimeters. Then also I'll give it an offset of 150 millimeters. So next I'm going to get the distance between this wall and this wall. So from this dimension group right here, I can see that the distance between these two walls is 4000 millimeters. So that's the same distance we are going to transfer right here. So I'll click at this line, then I'll put in 4000 millimeters. Then I'll give that line an offset of 150 millimeters. Okay. Then also we need also to create this wall right here. So it's from this wall that we are going to create this wall right here. So the distance between those two walls is 2500 millimeters. So from this line I'll offset another line at a distance of 1500 millimeters. Then I'll give it an offset of 150 millimeters. Okay. So I'll highlight this line, then also I'll highlight this line. After that, I'll click at the trim command, then I'll trim off those lines. Then after that, I'll highlight this line and that line right there. Then I'll still click at the trim command, then I'll trim off that line or those lines. Then also I'll highlight that line and I trim off those excess part of the lines. So next I'm going to get a distance between this wall and this wall. So from our dimensions we have it as 3500 millimeters. So from this line right here I'll give it an offset of 3500 millimeters. So still I'll give it an offset of 150 millimeters. Then after that I'll highlight this line, then I'll click at the trim command, then I'll trim off that part of the line. Then after that I'll highlight this line, then I'll click at the arrow next to the trim command right there, then I'll select extend. So I'll click at those two lines such that they are being extended until they meet this other line. AutoCAD automatically extends them up that line that you have highlighted. Okay. Then after that I'll highlight this line and that line, then I'll click at this arrow, then I'll select trim, then I'll trim off those lines. So after that I want to create the porch. I want to get its dimensions. So I'll come at my reference drawing. So according to the reference drawing, I have it as the distance from this point up to this point. It's a sum of 1,350 plus this 3,000. Okay. So if you add the two, it gives you 1,650. So that's the same distance that I'm going to transfer right here. So I'll click at this line, then I'll click at the offset command, then I'll offset that line at a distance of 1650 right there. Then I'll offset this line inside it at a distance of 300 millimeters. Okay, so I have square columns right here. So what I'm going to do is I'll highlight this one of the square columns, then I'll click at the copy command, then I'll click at one of the corners of the square column. So after that, I'll just paste it right there. This one I'll first place it in an open space, then I'll highlight it, then I'll click at the move command, then I'll move it right there. So you find that I no longer need this line. I'll just trim it off or delete it. So still I'll highlight this line, then after that I'll trim off those lines. Okay, so you can see that what we have right here kind of resembles what we have in the reference drawing. So I think we are on the right track, and please if you haven't subscribed, I urge you that you subscribe such that you always get notified whenever I upload this kind of content. And also don't forget to like the video, and let's proceed. So what we are going to do is I'm going to highlight those lines, then I'll click at this arrow, then I select extend, then I'll extend this line up to this line here, right here. So I'll also extend that line up to that point. Yeah, I think those are the two lines I need to extend. So I'll highlight this line, then I'll click at the offset command, then I'll offset it at a distance of 600 millimeters. Then also I'll click at this line and I'll offset it at a distance of 600 millimeters. Now I'll do the same thing right here and also right here. Okay, so I'm going to select these two lines and also those two lines, then I'll click at this arrow, then I select the trim command, then I'll trim off those lines and also that line and that line, then also I'll trim off those lines because I no longer need them. Then also I'll trim off that line and that line. So what next is to highlight those lines and also those lines. Okay, let me just highlight the whole drawing, then I'll click at the trim command, then I'll just trim off these excess lines. I did a video about how to draw a ground floor plan, and if you want to watch it, I'll leave a link in the description section such that you can watch that video. Then you can also relate with what I'm showing you right here. So when you're done with trimming, let me first finish also these ones such that I can do each and everything at once without any kind of repetition. Sorry. So when you're done with trimming off all these lines, you just press the escape command or escape key at the keyboard. Then I'll just highlight that part of the line, then I just press the delete key at the keyboard. So next, I'm going to place the doors and the windows in our project right here. So what I'm going to do is, instead of me copying a single door or window at a time, I'm going to highlight each and every window and door that I have in this reference drawing, then I'll paste it here in my new drawing. So just look at what I'm going to do. So I'll highlight these doors and windows. So when you're done with selecting all the wall openings, those are the doors and the windows, what I'm going to do is I'll click at the copy command right there. Then I'll get a reference point from this drawing. I'll select this corner right there. Then I'll transfer these windows and the doors to my new drawing, but still I'll select the same corner, which is that point right there. So when you're done, you find that I've moved these doors and the windows from this reference drawing to my new drawing, but then you find that they're in the same positions as they are right here. So that's one of the easiest trick that you can use, maybe to copy objects from one drawing to another drawing in the same working template. So let's proceed. So I'll highlight those part of those, then I'll click add a trim command. Okay, so you find that now this is a complete door. So you find that we have come to the end of part 1 of this video, and please, if there is something that you have learned and it has added value to you, please don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. If there is anything that I've forgotten and you feel like it's important, you can always leave a comment in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and let's meet in part 2 of this video.